move on to the next match, which was a kind of last-minute draw, which was, Hangman Page and Matt Hardy versus Chaos Project. They were thrown in there, which a little bit is to surprise, but I really feel like the announcers and the hype kind of helped with all that because, we didn't know the rhyme or reasoning behind that. And so for them to really hype it up and kind of have that side promo backstage or the last week promo where they're changing in the locker room really made this a meaningful match, not just one of those thrown in squashes, even though it was pretty much a squash. And then Matt stealing the pin. Big Money Matt stole the pin. So he tagged himself in. And then Hangman kind of just like went in with it. So I love Matt Hardy, Big Money Matt's gimmick right now, and Hangman is a star, but this match just wasn't right for the night for me, and so unfortunately, this one is going to delete out of me. I can't talk too much on this just because I was kind of surprised with it. I'm trying to think of the positives out of it. Nothing against Chaos Project. This could have been anybody. I'm glad it was someone we knew and not just some jobber talents, because that would have been even worse in my opinion. But I think we're going to be played down the line for a bigger picture. And we'll look back on this big, okay, that's why they did this.
Honestly, I think that people are going to forget about this match in 2 weeks and they're going to get over their sour grapes and move on. I think that there are a lot of haters. Chaos Project, say what you will about them. I think that there's a place for everybody. I've had to come to peace with that, even with next week's show. There are certain characters on next week's show that are going to be featured that, as a fan, they're not my cup of tea. But that's what makes AEW great, is that they cater to a wide variety of audiences. They cater to a wide variety of tastes. And I think that we need to be cognizant of that. It's not always about what you want or what I want.
Right.
There are people out there who enjoy, seeing Hangman Page go over in a convincing fashion. You know how many people have been clamoring that, Hangman has been underutilized and things like that? For him to get a nice big win, another win like that on his belt doesn't hurt.
No, it definitely doesn't hurt.
For me, the main reason why it's a delete for me is not the match itself, because I felt like the match actually was better than what most people will give it credit for. I thought the match it went fine. I think that it was smooth. The storytelling was great. Anytime Hangman's on screen, you're going to see that confliction going on in his character, which we find fascinating. I think that, obviously, again, talking to John Silver in our interview with him, we're fascinated to see what plays out on the Hangman storyline. But even more than that, I know SPD, you're loving Big Money Matt. I think that, honestly, this is one of the most, if not the most, entertaining gimmicks that he's had in his long storied career. I mean, this man has been known for creativity, for being adaptable to the times. This version of Matt Hardy is captivating, and it's entertaining week in, week out, whether he's on BTE, whether he's on AEW Dynamite, or if he's on Impact. This guy is funny. He's incredibly intelligent. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to work the audience. And I think he's working us into a tizzy. I think that he's working a lot of fans into a tizzy with the way things are going. The main reason why it's a delete from me, though, is because I think as a diehard AEW fan, I think that AEW sometimes needs to back away, maybe learn that sometimes less is more, showing a little restraint. We talk about it, dude. How often do we feel like we're missing something on one of these shows? You're jamming so much into a Dynamite and to a Dark. I mean, Dark has 13 matches on it, right? I mean, they're jamming so much content in that sometimes I feel like less is more. Let the other stuff have time to breathe. Let us as fans have a time to breathe and roll through the show. I think that this show would have benefited if, from a pacing standpoint and from just an overall vibe, maybe if this wasn't on the show. And that's not me trying to hate on the competitors or onto the match itself. Again, I thought that this was better than what most people will probably want to admit
Right.
online. I just think that given how stacked this card was, they could have allowed other segments to breathe a little bit more had this been negated. So I hope going forward, especially if AEW gets another show, gets a little bit more time, that pacing and maybe that little editing, that ability or that knowledge to know when to cut something, that they learn that and they recognize that there's always room for them. Dude, they have so many avenues and options to tell this Matt Hardy and Hangman Page story. It didn't necessarily require a match. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, and like you said, I am loving what he is doing as of late. And I was watching his promo on Impact yesterday, and I was laughing out loud, literally, just some of the stuff he's saying. And he's really mentoring Private Party in the right way.